What is up, YouTube? Today I'm coming back at you with another video, and today's video is going to be a little bit different. And as you might have noticed, hopefully, I'm not sure how this will turn out, but I am using a new setup. I actually got a legit tripod, and I'm actually using my actual camera, which is a Panasonic G7, and I'm recording this video on that. So let me know what you guys think in the comment box below, if the video quality has improved or not, if you like this new setup, or just tell me what you think in general. So yeah, just leave that in the comment box below. But today, I wanted to do a new video about the Nintendo Switch. If you haven't watched any my last video, I did get the Nintendo Switch, and this video is going to be my initial impressions of the Nintendo Switch. So I've had this since Friday now, and I'm actually enjoying this quite a bit. I only have one game, unfortunately. I was gonna get Bomberman, but before it came out, I was hearing a lot of negative things about the new Bomberman, but now that it's come out, it's gotten some pretty decent scores, so I'm kind of upset that I didn't get it. But I did get Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and that's the main game I've been playing on this. But I just wanted to do a quick overview of what I think. So first I want to talk about some accessories that I think you will absolutely need. It's not really an option if you get a Nintendo Switch. So the first thing I want to talk about is something you might have noticed on mine already, and that is the grips. And these grips I think are completely necessary because, as you can see there, it adds a bubble on the back, and I'm not sure how well the camera picks that up, but it adds a little bubble on the back here, and that makes it a lot more ergonomic to hold, and it's just much more comfortable. Because my main complaint with this when I first unboxed it was the fact that it feels really thin, and there's not really anything to grab onto on the Joy-Con except for this lip right here. And after I played with it for a day before I actually got these, and after probably about an hour of straight play on Legend of Zelda, my finger was starting to cramp up right here because I was holding it like this. And it was just, I would start to cramp up, and my hands were starting to cramp. My girlfriend said she did not have any problems with her hands cramping up. Her hands are smaller than mine though, so that might have something to do with it. But I don't exactly have the largest hands in the world either, so I'm guessing that if you have large hands or even medium-sized hands like mine, you will absolutely need these grips right here. And they honestly, I just got the cheap $7 rubber PDP grips. My girlfriend got some too. They come in black, red, and blue. And I honestly think that they're absolutely necessary. Now there's one other, I think, company making them right now. I think Hori makes a grip as well. And their grips are hard plastic, but what I've heard about those is that they're really, really hard to get on and off, and they can scratch your Joy-Con. Which I'm glad I got these ones, because these ones are rubber and they won't scratch anything. And then the only downside to these are the fact that the buttons are actually more recessed, and it's a little bit to get used to, but honestly, after about 20 minutes of playing, I'm completely used to it. Even the little plus and minus buttons, which are the most recessed buttons on this controller, I can still hit them pretty fine. So, yeah. So that's one accessory. The second accessory that I think you absolutely need is something I don't have yet because they're sold out everywhere where I live, and that is a screen protector. Now the reason I say this is normally I don't go for screen protectors, or grips for that matter, but the reason I say screen protector is because the dock for this will scratch your system. It will scratch the screen. Now, that's from other reports and me personally. There's a little scuff right here. It's not noticeable at all. It's actually, I caught it really, really early on, and you can barely tell, but it will scratch your screen, so definitely get a screen protector for this. And if you can't get a screen protector, what I recommend is there's some soft foam that your Joy-Con grip comes in. It's actually the perfect size to slide over the front portion of just the front little plastic piece of the dock, and that'll give you some padding in between the dock and the screen. And that's what I've done as a temporary measure right now until I get a screen protector. Now the last thing I want to get as well that I can't because they're all sold out is a nice hard case, like a hard case, not a soft one. And that's something that I think you'll need as well, just because if you plan on taking this on the go a lot, like I am, it's something that I think you'll absolutely need. Now, let's move on to my actual thoughts on the console itself. The UI is actually really, really well set up. Everything's super easy to find. All the buttons and the menus themselves are all really, really easy to navigate. And everything works as you would expect. Now, the downside to the menus and stuff is there's not a whole lot there. And that just goes on to my next part. There's like no content on this thing. Other than the games that you can buy physically, there's like nothing on this system at all. There's no web browser. There's no music. You can add friends, but you can't send messages. You can't do anything other than just add them. There's the shop. The store really, really shocked me. The Nintendo eShop is completely bare bones. There's only 3 sections. There's search, browse, and I think the last one is recommended or something like that. But basically, browse is just every single game in the eShop, which there's 9 of right now. There's and then there's recommended, which is literally just the same thing right now, I'm pretty sure. And it's based on your shopping history. And then search is search. And there's nothing else. There's absolutely nothing else. And the shop, the way the shop is set up, kind of concerns me because it doesn't look very intuitive. And I can see it kind of getting flooded and hard to navigate later on when more content is added. It kind of reminds me of the early Ouya shop. If you've ever actually played the Ouya like I have, it reminds me of the early versions of the Ouya shop. And that's really, really concerning. The next thing I want to talk about is the kickstand. So the kickstand on this is super flimsy and super cheap. Like, look at that. It just kind of flops back shut. It's super cheap. Do not use this kickstand. If you want to play in tabletop mode, I didn't necessarily want to play in tabletop mode. I just thought it'd be a cool feature to have if I ever decided to. But if you actually were interested in tabletop mode, they have tablet kickstands, tablet easels. Just buy one of those because it'll work much better than this kickstand. This kickstand not only is flimsy, but it's on the far left-hand side of the device, and it will fall over if you tap it or move or jiggle or any sort of movement. It will fall over, and that's just something you don't want happening. The screen itself is actually really, really good. For a 720p screen, it's really sharp. And the colors are really vivid. I absolutely think that this screen right here is better experience than playing it on the TV. Just because I have like a huge TV right now, and when I plugged it in the dock and it blew it up to 1080p, it looked good. Don't get me wrong, it looked really, really good. But it was super stretched out, and I just didn't think it looked as good as it did on the screen. Which is kind of weird, but that's just my personal opinion. Another thing that I didn't like about this system is the lack of a traditional D-pad, which I understand the purpose for it, and I'm not like super mad about it or anything, but the fact that there is no traditional D-pad on this system means if you want to play handheld fighters, it's going to be a difficult task later on. Now, the overall build quality of this machine is really, really good. I would say it's on par with the 3DS XL, in my opinion. It feels very similar to the same quality build as that. And I feel like it's pretty sturdy. I haven't had any real problems with my build quality at all. I recommend not ever using the straps that go on the Joy-Cons because there's been tons of problems with those. And when I tried putting mine on and off, they were super tough to get off. And I did put them on the right way. So it's just, don't use those. They will wear down your Joy-Cons really quick. But the overall build quality and everything else is really great. There's one vent on the top here. I haven't noticed it getting too loud or anything like that. It hasn't gotten too hot. It's gotten a little warm when I'm playing long Zelda sessions, but other than that, it's functioned pretty well. One of my favorite things in the whole concept behind this machine is, obviously playing handheld games on your TV or TV games on your handheld, and that's the biggest selling factor for me. I love systems that do basically home console experience games on the go, which a lot of consoles do. A lot of people are saying like this is some new revolutionary thing. It's not. It's really not. A lot of other systems have done it. I just think that this system does it the best. The Vita did almost the exact same thing, but they did a lot of stupid mistakes, and they didn't really get a good library going, and there's the whole memory card thing, and you couldn't really play it on the TV super easily because not every game is supported. This is literally what I want in a console. This is my dream console, and that's why I picked it up day one. Normally, I'm not a big Nintendo fan. Anybody who watches my channel regularly knows I'm a big Sony fan. Not like a fanboy or anything. I give every console a shot. I mean, I have Xbox stuff, I have Sega stuff, I've got Nintendo stuff, I've got all sorts of systems. But I tend to prefer the hardware that Sony puts out. This is really, really good. This, I am super surprised by what Nintendo have done. I personally haven't had any issues. The only issue I have is there's a slight, the plastic, I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see it, but the plastic right here isn't completely flush on mine. It looks like they might have sanded out too much of a groove, and so there's a small gap in between the plastic. There's no bend on the back, so it's not like bubbling out or anything. It's just the crease right here was larger in one section, so there's a small gap in my system. It's not a huge it's not a huge thing. I'm not upset about it or anything. It still works fine, but that's like the only thing that's wrong. A lot of people have been complaining about tons of issues with this machine. I haven't heard of any machine that has launched without issues. I mean, the PS4, I got that on launch day as well. There's all sorts of issues with that. There was controller desyncing. There was the blue light of death. There was no HDMI output, which was a really big one that a lot of people seem to have when that first came out. And, I mean, it just really depends. I mean, every system's going to have issues when it first comes out. They're going to be the vocal minority. I mean, everybody who pretty much has a working Switch, like me, they're not really going to say a whole lot about it, because, I mean, I haven't gone on and posted anything about it because my Switch is working and I've been playing it. So, a lot of the things that you've been hearing are probably from people that either, number one, don't have the system and don't like Nintendo and don't want it to succeed, which I know there's quite a number of people that are like that, or number two, or people that have defective units. A lot of the people that have good units and are enjoying their system, they're not really going to say anything. So, overall, my opinions on this system are really good. I think it has a lot of potential. It is not by any stretch of the means, does it break into my top 3 consoles of all time, or even my top 3 handhelds of all time. There's a good potential here. And Legend of Zelda really proves that. But right now, there's no content, so I can't really judge on how the games are or anything like that. And number 2, it just came out, so I'll give it some time. Right now, I think it has a lot of potential to become one of my favorite systems ever, or even potentially my favorite system ever if they play their cards right. Which is saying something, because the PS2 is something that I really, really cherish, so I definitely recommend picking up a Switch if you are interested in the concept at all. It's a cheap launched system. A lot of consoles don't even launch this cheap. So if you're interested at all in that, it's a good way to play Nintendo games, and if you support this, there's a good chance that Nintendo will probably merge their handheld and home console divisions together, which means you'll be getting the best of both of those divisions, like Pokemon, and then Pokemon on the handheld side, Fire Emblem on the handheld side, and then on the home console side, you'll be getting all your Mario games, your Zelda games, and all that good stuff. So, it's a really cool system. I hope it works out well. I just am waiting for more content at this point. I honestly think that you do need a couple things with the system in order to play it and protect it properly, but other than that, I think it's a pretty good system, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think in the comment box below. Like, what do you think about the Switch? How are you enjoying your Switch if you have one? Have you been able to find one? If not, I'm sorry for that. Just your general comments, you know, stuff like that. And let me know, especially what you guys think of the video quality in this, because this is a new setup. I'm using a legit camera with a proper tripod. I don't have a proper lighting setup yet. That's just because I don't have a whole lot of room. I mean, I guess I have some room over here if I wanted to set up some lights eventually, but I need another tripod. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comment box below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.